All right, and I will just have you guys visualize this bright ball of white light that moves up and down your spine, up with each inhale and down with each exhale. And just hold that image as you take a few deep breaths. And as the energy begins to move around you, sometimes it can move a bit quickly. So we will just have you set the intention for it to move through you slowly. Know that energy healing is not about fixing something broken within you, but about growth and expansion of the soul. As energy begins to move down your spine, imagine that it exits from your root It then anchors deep down into the core of the earth. Think of your spine like an energetic pipeline where energy can move from the earth to the collective consciousness and from the collective consciousness to the earth. Sometimes these energetic pipelines become clogged. And when that happens, there are often many ways to unclog them. One is through meticulously going through what beliefs you hold, what pains you are still carrying, what desires you believe you cannot have, which ones you believe you can have, for that is very telling about your beliefs. Or you can learn to detach from any meaning and command your own energy to move. We will have you in your mind just imagine that your spine is a pipe with light flowing through it. Now observe where you may see any shadowy spots where the energy is unable to go through. Do not judge these, just observe. Now imagine that flow of light growing stronger And imagine any bits of shadow or stagnation begins to dissolve, breaking up from clumps into pieces of sand and trickling down your spine, flowing out and into the earth. Now imagine that this sort of outer shell of a pipe is gone, and there is only free-flowing energy that begins to rotate clockwise in a spiral formation. Much like how strands of DNA may look. And if you do not know what strands of DNA look like, just imagine a corkscrew. Know that we are just beginning to opening your channels. Some of you may have felt quite a lot of energy moving through already. but we are just getting started. So take a few deep breaths and allow any judgments or thoughts that you may be having about your experience thus far to fall away. Know that this also may feel very subtle for you, so do not worry if it does not feel strong or intense. Now, take your minds and your focus and put them on your heart space. That energy center that is in the middle of your chest. Place both of your hands on your hearts and repeat 3 times. I am exactly where I am supposed to be in this moment and in my life. we will have you bring to mind one thing that you are feeling resistance around, one thing that you do not want to let go of, something that you desperately want to happen. Just bring it to the forefront of your mind. Now imagine this thing as a strand of energy. So think of a brightly colored string of light. And imagine it being plucked from your mind, drifting off into a black hole and disappearing. And do not worry, this does not mean you are giving up on something that you desperately want. But it does mean that you are releasing the resistance and desperation around it, the pain. Now imagine that that strand of light has been transformed in the darkness. It comes back to you in a different color and slips back into your mind as something higher, more aligned with you. And observe what it is. Is it something different than what you gave? Is it a different version of the same thing you gave? Try not to judge whatever it is. Many of you here may have had some idea of where you have been wanting to go over the last few months to years. But we can tell that many of you have also surpassed these desires energetically, yet you are still holding on to the old desire. So it is necessary to allow your desires to catch up with your new energetic frequency. It is oftentimes when you are trying to become someone that you evolve so much that the person you were trying to become is no longer relevant, as you have become what it is you are supposed to be. Know that many of your so-called failures are this process happening. So imagine that you are applying for a college or position that you think you would like, and you study, learn new things to prepare yourself for that position or school. And during your preparation, you manage to surpass the necessary qualifications. And so there is a higher position, a Ivy League school that is waiting for your talent, but you are still trying to apply to the lesser. And this may feel like you are being rejected or you have failed. But you have not. So it is necessary to readjust what you are aiming for to what your talents are now ready for. Place your left hand over your heart, your right over your belly button. And repeat these words out loud 3 times. I accept that I am better than what I have believed. Now repeat aloud 1 time. I am now ready to accept my high value and release the lesser belief. Know that this will require your level of self-confidence to adjust. So if you are feeling a lot of energy moving in your solar plexus, which is just below your rib cage and above your belly button, just try to observe this area and take a few deep breaths. Know that to us on the other side, you are all worthy, all beautiful, all valuable, no matter what you do or believe of yourself. As we move into this next phase, the energy around you will begin to soften. As we have brought up and moved out stagnant energy, now we will bring in a calm, loving, comforting energy to soothe the body, know that while you are here on earth, if you bring joy to just one person, you are living your highest purpose. And if that one person is yourself, then you have completed your mission. Bringing joy to just yourself is important because your world and every world is made of energy. But as a physical vessel, the only way to impart higher frequencies to the physical world is through the self. You cannot do it through others. You are made of an infinite amount of energetic portals, which anchor in light, spirit, soul, and if you are trying to make others happy without first finding your own joy, you are trying to pull energy away from others while blocking your own energy receptors. But if you focus on your own joy, your energy receptors open and allow light to flow through, which then fuels the physical world, and by holding that energy, you can influence others without ever saying one word to do the same for themselves. It is the way that frequencies work. Lower frequencies are always going to attempt to attune to higher frequencies. Now we are going to begin to raise your frequencies. You may feel pressure in your head, ringing in your ears, or slight waves of nausea as you move up, but these will pass quickly. We will have you take 5 deep breaths as slow as possible. We will give you a count of 8. So you will inhale for 8, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. If this is too difficult, do not worry. Just try to slow your pattern of breathing down as much as possible. And set the intention in your mind to move slowly. Some of you are quite excited to move up, but moving too quickly is a little discombobulating. So slow is best. You will still reach the highest point you are able to go. Now, as we begin to hit the higher frequencies, I will have you in your mind command that energy to move down your spine and into the earth. As your energy attempts to sustain this higher frequency, you may feel some energy moving in your heart space or anywhere else where you may have feelings of doubt or fear coming in. Observe where this is in your body. Do not judge. You are simply bringing your attention to it, listening to it. Know that any fears or doubts that may come up throughout the next week are not to be taken as fact or reality, but to be seen as a question, asking you if you are willing to seek your highest potential, or will you continue to try to apply to the lesser school or lesser position? In those moments, lean into the feeling and ask yourself, will I meet my highest potential? If the answer is yes, Then take a deep breath and understand that that is you making the decision, and there is no further work needed. You decide and you let go. Then your world and your situation will begin to reflect that higher decision. Now imagine that root you sent into the core of the earth moves back up into your spine, landing in your heart space. And a shower of energy begins to fall over your head, moving down your whole body, and filling your auric field with energy. May you move through your week with the understanding that you are extremely valuable and always supported. The difference between feeling like you are alone and feeling the divine love that is all around you is one thought. In times of need, call on the light and observe as it moves towards you and around you. And know that this is not your imagination. It is that you are able to perceive that which others are not. All right. You are, or you can come out whenever you are ready. Please take your time.